All right, live. Okay, don't mind me. Hi, YouTube. You're the first one in because I am goofing around here and seeing if I got the right shit going on. What I want to do. Oh, it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's. Well, that gets most of it. Okay. Hopefully that will be good enough. So I'm going to have that screen in my background, and I'm going to go get everybody else in the room here as we get prepared. Oh, yeah. All right. Hi. How's it going, Patreon? Oh, we got shit going on today. Oh, that's for definites. Definites. Going live on Facebook in 3, 2, 1. Getting ready for that. All right. Let's hope everybody is paying attention. What's up? All right. Facebook is in the house. So I'm going to go hang out over here for a minute. Oh, that's a little bit of screen. Maybe I'll just play right there. All right. Hi. We are a little bit early, but we'll go ahead and get started. Today's episode of Real Talk with Keith Motherfucker is brought to you by the Happy Face coin from zerofuckscoin.com. Uh-oh. Is it backwards? It says, have a nice day, asshole. Which fits right in because we have been talking about the asshole. All right. So if you are here again, howdy. And let's see, what do we got going on? Who's hanging out? All right. I think Pam's in the room. Lurking. Pam, I have a notepad back here if you need it. All right. Let's get started. I also have my own sticky notes. So we're going to start with this. I've got a few things to talk about that are coming up. And again, there goes my computer doing its daily I wouldn't fuck with you thing. All right. So a couple things to advertise. First thing is kind of where the springboard of what started this whole thing, Recovery Unfiltered, is airing. The second episode will be next Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. And the platform for that is YouTube, and it is at Recovery Unfiltered -42. So if you go to my shit somewhere in there, you can actually find some links, but that's how you're going to find that. The topic, Doc Charlene and I will be discussing is medication assisted treatment, something in both of our past wheel and present wheelhouses. Always a great topic of discussion. So she's going to be leading out with that. Be there. Come hang out. What's next I want to talk about? Zero Fucks Given Coin. We already did that, right? Check it out. zerofuckscoin.com. Hit them up. Tell them Keith and Pam sent you. Get a little discount on it. Oh, yeah, that's my homie. All right. And then the other one, the last piece, at least for right this moment, is, let's get there. All right. So, Beyond the Battle, it's a long name, and Unite Against the Silence. So if you are on YouTube right now, you're seeing that backup screen. And so I'll explain it to the rest of you in just a second. If you're there, you can see Jessica Waters is a friend who's kind of got us involved and interested in it. And this thing's continuing to move on and all that kind of stuff. She is hosting said event. Check it out. It's a great deal. It's a great idea. It's for those of you who are rock stars like us and you love your swag. It is an auction. Proceeds are going to the Corey Taylor Foundation to help people with PTSD and other mental health issues and all that shit. Great cause, great idea. So check that out. That's coming up at the end of the month, July 29th. And I'm going to leave that on the YouTube there. So if you're not on YouTube, you could get there. and the handle for that is at Keith MF Walker. So if you go to YouTube and type that in, you can get to what we're watching right now, and see that as far as some details. It's whatnot.com is the platform that they're going to be running the auction from. And then last but not least, a couple introductions. It looks like Saturday, I'm actually going to have Jessica on the show. Looking really forward to that, and she will call in and hang out, and we'll probably spend some time discussing this and what it's about. And then obviously all things related to what we do here. There's that piece. And the last one I got for today is next Wednesday. Mark it on your calendar. This is gonna be a lot of fun, I think. If you're seeing me again, I'm pointing it out. If you're on YouTube, if you're not, then you don't see it. But if you go and look at the flyer, you're gonna see presented by James Niggemeyer. And if you don't know who he is, go Google and go see what he's about. But he is like what started in a little idea in his mind has blown up into this thing that's coming up on July 29th. He's donating a shitload of stuff, and there's a lot of other people that are donating to the cause as well. He's going to be live here via, he's going to call me and we're going to speakerphone because that's as lame as my technology is, but we're all down to play, and he is going to call in and hang out, and we're going to discuss whatever the fuck he wants to talk about because he's fucking this guy, right? So he's going to call in. We're definitely going to talk about this. There's some background. Great human. And I am tickled as fuck to have him jumping in on the gig. So looking forward to that. You're going to see it all over my shit. I'm plastering it everywhere, right? It's a big deal. And kind of like the last Facebook post I put out, if you have opportunities and willingness, all of what you're seeing here, especially on Facebook, it's so easy, right? There's a little thumbs up. Let me know who you are and you liked it. Okay, cool. Little comments. I love great feedback, all the above. But that share button, fucking like wear your knuckles out on that. Work your fingers to the nub. Pushing the share button. Share. We are really hoping to load this live auction thing up with metalheads, and just like I said, it's going to a great cause. Spend some time as well if you're interested. The Corey Taylor Foundation, go look it up, see what they're up to, and again, be a part of it. And at the end of the day, you'll probably learn some shit. You'll probably feel good about your life for a minute, and you might go home with some killer swag. So anyway, that's all that. Cool. So back to the topic, and I don't mind that I rambled on about all of that stuff for any length of time because I'm kind of bouncing off of yesterday's. Now, if you didn't see yesterday's episode, which, okay, I'm not offended. Yeah, a little bit, but I would invite you obviously to go back to that. Just give you the quick interlude. Yesterday we talked about human condition versus addiction and what that means. And so I was a bit distracted, disjointed. There was some shit going on, blah, 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 whatever. And I feel like I left some things either unsaid or unexplained, and I think they're critical. And so that's why we're going back to it. So the short version of what I was talking about is much of what the definition of addiction is, again, is very much standard practice for the human race. Like we are all there. And some of us farther along the chain than others. And because again, a lot of the symptomology of that particular malady is just the fact that you are upright and breathing on this planet. And so the point I had made was that my particular path that brought me into a recovery mindset, shall we say, where I pay attention to shit like this and whatnot, was that substance abuse disorder path. And I explained that there was a time very reasonably short after I got clean that I stopped introducing myself in anonymous meetings and things like that as a drug addict because simply I did not do drugs. Okay. And then we talked about the other part of that. That I introduced myself as an asshole. That's my disease. Is I'm totally self-absorbed, etc. All that kind of stuff. Um, what I think I failed to follow up with, so I want to clear that up today. So I haven't been to Malibu.com or whatever these fucking guys. If you've seen them on the commercial, and I probably shouldn't bag them in public, but I don't give a shit. They're so fucking rich, it doesn't matter to me. But they used to have these commercials where it's like, come here to this facility and spend a shitload of money and we'll treat you like a god and we will cure you. And I'm not an addict anymore. Yeah, nobody, I mean, that's no. And that's not what I meant yesterday either. But again, the symptoms change, right? If we find that we are obsessive and compulsive over something, we do the work over that. We find a method, a toolbox for abstinence for a period of time. We get some relief or freedom from that, all that kind of stuff. Great. I mean, and that's the goal of a lot of recovery type stuff. And I've experienced that as well. But to say, and again, it's even now, like I haven't used drugs, like, what do you want to call it, recreationally or whatever. Welcome to Earth. Surgery happens. Like there are needs and instances and all that kind of stuff. But the key component is like recreationally or any of that. I haven't done that for fucking almost 40 years, right? Coming up on like here, it's 38 and change. It's a long fucking time. However, so here's the thing again, is like today, I am not a drug. I don't do drugs. I don't miss drugs. I don't crave drugs. I don't eat any of that. So thank you, Lord, or whoever's running this place, right? However, if I were like, I have the ability through all this practice, obviously, making the choice not to use. If I were to go out and experiment in that world again, I would, like, I can pretty much guarantee I would go ahead and be a drug addict again because I fucking love that shit. And I don't stop once I start. And so I've got a couple interesting stories on that. Does that make sense, by the way? So, not specific symptomology today of drug addict, but I am by no means cured. I find plenty of other, like I got a new drug somewhere, and I can be obsessive compulsive and a complete asshole at any given moment on a lot of different topics. Welcome to the human condition, right? We are all in the mix. So that's the point I'm trying to get to it. Um, but yeah, I got it. Oh, here comes the note meister. Hi, baby. Um, so the couple stories that I have, the the first one I'm going to share, because I'm trying to remember what the other one was and I spaced it off. Um, we talk about how does that work? So drugs are nope, not going to happen. Um, drugs are that symptomology. So here's the story. We'll go back in time. It was early in our recovery, and I'm with Pam, and we've been clean for a period of time. She'll let you know all the time. Like she got clean 9 months before I did. So, right? So she's been clean a long time. And, and I was clean for a little while behind that. So the short story is, and this is how human condition and those behaviors, again, they don't stop just because we stop using drugs. People do shit like this all the time and they never were drugs, but this is what happened. So we were poor. We're trying to get our lives together. You know, there's kids running around, and we're trying to make ends meet. And so I don't remember exactly how it started, but it started with, we lived down the block from an Alpha Beta, and we had a buddy there, young gal. I think she was in college or whatever. Not She was a normie person or whatever it was, but she seemed to like us, and we were chit chatting and all this kind of shit. And somewhere amidst this process, the topic of coupons came up. And so it, whether it was an idea we got from somebody shady as fuck, right? We got from somebody else or her, it's, basically just bringing in whatever fucking coupons you got and running them. And so back at the time, like if it was $1 off, $2 off, something like that, that was a big deal. And so this became like, the progression of this process is just like any fucking crackhead who started getting high on the weekend once in a while, and then it turned into like 24/7, right? So what started is a handful of coupons and saving a few bucks on diapers that we weren't buying or whatever because they were $2 coupons became this process of the Sunday morning ritual when the fucking big newspaper showed up. Remember those things? Yeah, we used to have to write and read shit. But they'd come with like the fat fucking coupon stack. And again, you couldn't use them for individual places or any of that, but manufacturers' coupons that are good anywhere. And we literally just look at the amounts. Clip, 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 clip. So we had done this a few times, not much. And we'd go and we'd load up a cart. We do our shopping. What began again early in the progression, we'd just do our regular shopping. We'd make sure she's working because that's the deal, right? And get in her line and go through, and she just scan the coupons. Just help. Yikes. So we got greedy. It was so fucked up. Anyway, we went in one time and she was working. We saw her there. So we go and we went ape shit. It was like the first of the month. That was back when Pam was on aid, early in her recovery. Again, single mom with a couple kids, can't work. It was whatever. That's just where we were at. So boom, the food stamp package came in, whatever. Maybe I had part of a paycheck. Anyway, we went ballistic. And so we literally loaded up 2 fucking shopping carts of stuff. And so it's like an hour to get through the fucking store, right? So we get up, we're headed to the registers, and they had moved her to the fucking express lane. And we're like, That's more than 15 items, right? And so we're like, and she's just like, come on, it'll be all right, kind of thing. And we're just like, oh no. So I mean, it started out well enough. Like, fucking, we're zipping through the first cart, and then express line type people start lining up behind us, and you're getting the look. So like, you can't fucking count to 15 or whatever the number was. And things started going south, and we knew. And the manager of the place was a recovery guy, a guy that we knew. He'd been sober for a long time, older guy. Obviously, he's running this fucking store. And he sees what's happening, and we see him like over there or whatever, standing just kind of watching. And we're like, we're so fucked. Like, we knew we were busted, right? So we leave. We get through it. She runs through both of them, and we leave the store. Coupon scanned, all the above. And so we barely get home, and we get a phone call from her. And she's like, I just got fired. And we're like, oh no, 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 oh, not okay. Like, um, and we brought the receipts, and like, we immediately went back to the store, and we find this manager guy, and we're like, dude, this is not our fault, this, that, everything else. And he knew exactly, because he knew we were early in recovery and all this shit. Whatever he had, like he did his job. Like, she fucked up. That's stealing one way or another, even though she didn't benefit anything, right? Or it's just weird. Certainly the line that we were in is problematic, and she could count to 15. So she gets her consequences trying to help us out. And our consequence was we got to fucking live with that. And he's just like, no, you're good. Have a nice day. And and we got to leave. And and that still creeps me out 38 years later. It's like, fuck, that's some fucked up shit that we did. And it was, again, this is how the human condition operates. Again, like, defective workings and all that kind of stuff, but had nothing to do with being high. Straight as a fucking preacher on Sunday or whatever the fuck, right? Like, we were that very engaged, very recovery oriented, but this thing, again, that obsession, that over whatever, and what a fucking bad choice that was. And the consequences, right? She loses her job. We're like what was fucked is we were barely sharing one car, I think. So life is kind of a pain in the ass as we're trying to build up. This store is like 2 blocks from the apartment complex. Like, we'd literally go shopping and use the shopping cart, right? And just like cart shit home. And then next time we went shopping, we just go back. Like, we had our own personal carts, and there was a lot of them at the apartment complexes around. We didn't fucking shop in there for a year. Fuck, I don't know. Like, we didn't go back in there for a long time. And so we had to figure out how to grocery shop in a small town with not a lot of options. I think we actually had to drive down the hill for quite a while, which was probably a half-hour drive to like the next podunk town to like go shopping for a while. So yeah, that's holy shit, what a fucking story that is, right? What's up, Xenon? Hey, this show is fucking better than Slayer. Just so you know, but not much because Slayer's pretty fucking awesome. Um, anyway, that's a story again when we talk about what that is. But this is again, this is behavior that we are all capable of, and it, like I said, it has nothing to do with the chemical influence. Now, obviously, that never helps, right? And we dig bigger holes faster when we're spending a lot of money on shit that's fucking killing us. Excuse me, or things like that. Fuck, I had another story, but I can't remember what it is, so I'm not going to be able to do it because the 80s really were really good to me, or really bad on me, and so there's some issues there. When I remember it, you'll hear about it. It's a good one. They're all good. Um, yeah. Anyway, so what? There you go. Welcome to the human condition. Um, I will admit, not specifically, but I still make bad choices today with things. I rationalize and justify. Ooh, these are fucking great first step words, are they not? Some interesting behaviors at times that are driven by a lot of different things, but it always boils down to there's that part of our brain that is always seeking an easier, softer way, a better outcome, whatever it is. And we'll try to duck around this or cut this corner or manipulate this or any of these kind of things. And these are all, again, this is all the same biology of the individual who is struggling with their substance use disorder out on the corner and the behavior that they do, to get what they need. Um, and so we all, like I said, until I see somebody who is perfect at this game called life and hanging out on this rock, I'm going to go ahead and stick to my story. And again, this is why the share button is so important, because I think the lessons that we're getting in this classroom apply to 8.5 billion fuckers on this planet. I think it's all, I think everybody needs this shit. Because again, you probably stepped on my toes, whether you meant to or not, or somebody else's. And again, it, you don't have to. These are choices. It takes work, yada yada yada. The toolbox, and again, no judgment. It's what we are, right? It's how we've been built. And but recognizing that and understanding that and then doing something about it, that's what like being a grown-up's about, right? Um, yeah, anyway, so I will continue to shout it from the rooftop or whatever, this chair, until I get shut down, if that ever happens. I don't necessarily expect it. So I'm going to, again, hopefully I've cleared up some of what I might have muddled yesterday in that discussion. So I hope, um, yeah, if you didn't catch yesterday, roll them back together. Tomorrow, I have no idea what the topic's going to be. I'm just going to say it one more time. If you're popping in late and live, um, to go back to the beginning of this, we've got, yeah, there's a lot of shit coming up and going on. I'm very, very, very excited about uh, what is on my plate right now, which is, we'll see. We'll see where things we'll see where things go. But I am looking forward to the ride with Recovery Unfiltered. I'm looking forward to the ride with you guys here on Real Talk. And I'm really looking forward to this hangout with Jessica and with James coming up this week and the gig on the 29th. So I hope you guys all attend all that, share the fuck out of it. I'm telling you. So I stopped nagging. And with that, we are going to check out for today. Hope to see you tomorrow at noon. All right. Thank you all. Appreciate it. All right.